Congratulations to Blue Scapegoats for winning the Protagonist Drawing Contest. Be sure to check out their Tumblr down below. It is linked in the description for some awesome fan art. Hello everybody, it is Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. Today I will be reviewing, spoiler-free, this video will have no spoilers, the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, the English dub of it. I won the sweepstakes in case you were unfamiliar, so I just got back from the premiere in New York City. Huge shout out, of course, to 4K for running the contest, and obviously picking me as the winner was just a coincidence, but thank you to them for running the contest in the first place. The setup was really great. We went in, there was this huge blue eye statue, so of course I had to take a picture of it. Some great cosplayers, and it was just a really, really fun environment to be in. But it was just it was an incredible experience. While I was waiting to go into the theater, two people actually noticed me. So first of all, big shout out to Nalto. I believe that was his name. I hope it was your name, bro, because it's been a long night, but I hope that was your name. And a big shout out to VMDTCG, who is actually on YouTube. Definitely check him out. He told me, I walked with him all the way back with him and a friend of mine, and I think he's going to be vlogging about his experience going to the premiere. So definitely check him out. And he also does Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff as well. So it was really nice to meet those two. Takahashi was there and spoke at the end of the movie. Dan Green and Eric Stewart were in the theater with us. It was just a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I cannot thank 4K Media enough for hosting a contest and for hosting an event like this. And thank you to the Chelsea Sinopolis Theater as well. The movie started around 6:30, and by the way, before I go on, I should say this, you should absolutely see the movie. If you are on the fence about seeing it in theaters, you absolutely should see the movie. And this is coming, keep in mind, from someone who I do not consider Duel Monsters my favorite show. There were a couple of shows, well, really only one, that I liked more than Duel Monsters, and I liked all the shows, don't get me wrong, but this is coming from someone who is not a massive Duel Monsters fan, but I still loved this movie. You have to see this movie. Maybe it was the nostalgia, I'm not sure, but I think that this was a really good movie. I actually might see it a second time in my hometown. I mean, that's how enjoyable it was. It was really enjoyable. And my one concern, because I had seen some clips from the Japanese version, and it was done really well, as you would expect it to be. And my one concern was, is the English dub going to be able to kind of live up to that? But I have to say that it was not an issue. It was not an issue. The VAing was fantastic. The writing was fantastic. The humor was great. And I absolutely would say to watch this movie, even if you have not seen the Japanese version, which I'm sure most people haven't, because it really hasn't leaked. They've done a really good job, even though it will be coming to DVD in March, and then I'm sure it'll somehow leak to the internet then, but do not wait for that, because if you have the chance to see it, see it. And it's a shame, because someone did tweet to me like they're not showing it in Colorado, so I guess some states they're not really showing it in, which is a shame, because I think that everyone deserves to see this movie in theaters, because this is going to be the last time we probably will see these characters, the original cast in theaters on the big screen, in anything really, and it's kind of sad to think about that, but the movie was great, the humor was great. Agami, the villain, was awesome. I mean, his VA, Daniel Edwards, who plays the voice of Dennis in Arc 5, did a magnificent job. You had the same voice actors for Joey, the same for Tristan, the same for Yugi, the same for Kaiba. I don't know about Mokuba. I think Mokuba might have been a different voice. I'm not entirely sure. I might be wrong about that, but the people that did have a different voice that I noticed was Taya and Duke. I thought their voices were good. They didn't really have major roles in the movie, but I did notice that obviously their voices had changed a bit, but still really, really good. The voice acting was not an issue at all. Bakura had the same voice as well, and they made a few jokes about his accent, which is funny. That's the one thing that I feel like the dub kind of always has over the original. I think the humor, especially the humor between Joey and Tristan, which is present in this movie, is a lot more there, and it's a lot more subtle, and it's just funnier to me. Where the original does have humorous elements, but I feel like, I don't know, I think the dub has always done funnier one-liners, and some of the one-liners miss, as, they're not going to hit everyone, but for the most part, a lot of the one-liners, especially the ones that Kaiba says, are really, really funny. The whole theater was just, laughing a lot of the time, and it was just a really awesome experience, and it was a really enjoyable movie. It's tough for me not to get into details, and I'm not going to get into details. I will be getting into details on my spoiler review, which I will be posting the second I do post this video. But again, don't watch that video. That's probably going to be like a 30, 35, 40-minute video of me really going in depth. Do not watch that video until you see this movie. And I might do another review when I see it subbed to kind of compare it, but I don't see how this... Usually I prefer the subbed version over the dubbed version, but I thought what was great about this is there was really no censorship, and we knew that coming into this movie. There was no censorship. There was a scene, and this is maybe a mini spoiler, but there was a scene that they used a gun, and they actually used a gun, and I'm so glad that they included that and they didn't take that out, because I'll show you the image right now. Obviously, they got so much hate back when they were 4Kids back in the early 2000s for getting rid of guns and having these people, waving, fingers of death, which was, the term that they used, and they finally got rid of that aspect, and they didn't censor anything, and to me, that just made the movie so much better and so much enjoyable, and the voice actors were never really an issue with Duel Monsters. It was that kind of censorship, and the fact that they moved away from that censorship and, showed guns and showed other dark elements, I thought really made this movie that much more enjoyable. So again, definitely see it. I'll rate it at the end of my spoiler review, but I'll just say this, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than the other movies. It was better. I enjoyed it a lot more than Bonds Beyond Time, which says a lot because those are three of my favorite characters, Yami, Judai, and Yusei, all dueling. I mean, what more can you ask for than three protagonists? But I like this a lot more than Bonds Beyond Time. Bonds Beyond Time, honestly, was a bit of a mess in hindsight, but this movie I thought flowed so smoothly, and the pacing was great, and again, see it if you can. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed my spoiler-free review. Again, it's going to be kind of light because I really don't want to spoil anything out of respect for people who do want to see it in theaters or maybe do want to see it on DVD, and you absolutely should because they really hit it out of the park with this one. I think this is the best Yu-Gi-Oh movie by far. In Japan it did really well. It made over 1 billion yen, and this was just, it's been hyped, and even though I haven't really talked about it on my channel, I focus more on Arc 5 and other kind of videos, I was still very excited for this, and this movie was absolutely incredible. I think it comes out in the UK February 1st, comes out in the US on Friday the 27th. I think it's out in Australia actually tomorrow, the 25th or the 26th, so definitely see this movie. Check your local listings. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. After you watch the movie, be sure to check out my full spoiler analysis of the movie. I have a couple of cons, obviously. It wasn't a flawless movie, like no episode or no arc or no movie ever is flawless, but the pros so outweigh the cons, and I'll get into that during my full review. But don't watch that until you see Dark Side of Dimensions. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.